Republica Moldova are foarte buni prieteni și are susținere din partea prietenilor, din partea statelor, din partea organizațiilor internaționale și cu susținerea și cu suportul partenerilor săi, autoritățile Republicii Moldova reușesc să facă multe lucruri. Cu un astfel de suport și cu o astfel de contribuție a venit și Statele Unite ale Americii și în mod special o persoană pe care am cunoscut-o prin luna august anul trecut, care pentru prima dată de fapt a ridicat și subiectul cimitirului evreiesc din Chișinău și sfatul căruia noi de fapt am urmat ulterior prin a schimba administrația cimitirului de la administrația orașului la cea a Ministerului Culturii și a Guvernului în general și declararea cimitirului ca și muzeu. Această persoană a venit cu ideea, această persoană a venit cu sfaturi cum asta se realizeze mai bine și că de fapt cimitirul evreiesc este un element foarte important și este un loc sfânt pe care autoritățile Republicii Moldova, autoritățile orașului trebuie să ia în considerare și să aibă grijă. Această persoană este Paul Pecker, care întotdeauna a stat alături de noi în inițiativele respective și îl invit să vină cu mesajul său de salut. Vă mulțumim foarte mult că sunteți aici. Domnul Pecker, președintele Comisiei Statelor Unite pentru conservarea patrimoniului american în străinătate. Poftiți.
Not sure how to follow that, but good afternoon, Speaker Kandu, Ambassador Hogan, Skandover, Knesset, Tali Plaskarov, Moldovan government and parliament, members of the diplomatic corps, and representatives of the Jewish community. Thank you for organizing today's important events. It's a privilege and an honor to be your friend and your partner. For those of you who were there for the first part of today's program, I think I'm not only going to be speaking for myself, but I'll probably be speaking for the tens of thousands souls who are buried in the Kishinev cemetery, who are probably looking down and are here today also, not only wanting to give thanks to the Parliament, to Speaker Kandu, to members of the government, but are probably smiling while looking down on this event also today, because this is something where now they're probably all very proud Moldovans after seeing what the government is doing on their behalf. I have the privilege of serving as chairman of the United States Commission for the Preservation of America's Heritage Abroad. I've been tasked by President Trump with protecting and preserving historic sites of great significance to Americans and their ancestors. Looking back at the heritage and history of Americans involves remembering periods of both lightness and darkness, reflecting on uplifting times and sobering times, moments that have inspired hope and moments that have made us confront mankind's capacity for evil. Jews from Kishinev know this all too well. Starting in the 19th century, the time of the earliest tombstone here, the Jewish community flourished. In the early 1900s, 16 Jewish schools supported 2,000 pupils and a community of 50,000 people. Kishinev's Jews built businesses and raised families, supported their community, and served their country. But the Jews' promise led to prejudice, and the pogrom of 1903 forced the community to rebuild. In the years before World War II, Kishinev's Jewish community blossomed to a population of some 400,000, with 70 synagogues across the city. That is before they experienced some of the deepest and most hope-purging darkness our world has known, which is why we say today and every day, never again. But among Moldovan's Jews' history of highs and lows, today's event is an unequivocally optimistic milestone, one that reaffirms Moldova's commitment to its Jewish community and the Jewish community's sense of belonging in Moldova. You have done something remarkable. You have cleaned up over 40 acres of property, clearing paths and uncovering tombstones to pave the way for today's rededication ceremony. In Jewish tradition, respect for the dead, kavod hamet, is considered the purest form of generosity, because one can expect nothing in return for their deeds. Though you may not expect anything in return, I am confident that your efforts here will have far-reaching and long-lasting effects. The rededicated cemetery will allow Jews from Moldova and across the world to return and visit the grave sites of their ancestors. The newly planned Holocaust Memorial and Museum will affirm that Jews belong in a Moldova that rejects anti-Semitism and hate. And the synagogue being rebuilt close by will help reignite the fire of the Jewish community that once burned so bright here in Kishinev. Much credit is due to the Moldovan Parliament and the government for embracing this effort. In recent years, and especially over the last 6 months, you have recognized the importance of preserving heritage, while at the same time working proactively to combat the ever-present threat and rising anti-Semitism. You have done that not just through words, which of course carry weight, but through actions and good deeds. I applaud you for recently adopting the international working definition of anti-Semitism and for bringing Holocaust remembrance education to Moldovan schools. Finally, on behalf of the Trump administration, I want to thank you for your cooperation with the State of Israel. Since 2004, an Israeli-Moldova Joint Commission has met 4 times to discuss economic, technological, and research cooperation. And just over a year ago, Prime Minister Philip visited Israel and joined Prime Minister Netanyahu in affirming plans for further bilateral relations. Already, many of the 75,000 Israelis with Moldovan heritage have returned to invest in Moldova's economy. And most recently, standing steadfast with the United States and Israel in the halls of the United Nations against the discrimination and bias against the world's only Jewish state, the State of Israel. When we leave stereotypes at the door, we see that such cross-cultural and interfaith interactions are not just viable, but mutually enriching. So as we go forward from today's event, let's constantly look to the positive. On an international level, let's look to what unites, not divides, the U.S., Israel, and Moldova. On a communal level, let's look to how Moldova and its Jewish residents can grow in tandem. And on an individual level, let's remember those buried in Kishinev's Jewish cemetery so that their legacy lives on. Thank you, God bless Moldova, and God bless the United States of America. If I may, I would just like to recognize Speaker Kandu with a little appreciation. An award presented to Speaker Kandu for the extraordinary contributions advancing the cause of Holocaust remembrance, ensuring historical truth, and promoting cultural preservation of sites related to the heritage of American citizens. Thank you.
Well, I thank you very much. Indeed, it's a surprisingly and not expected. Thank you very much, Mr. Paul Packer, and also for your great words on behalf of the administration as well as the United States. And thank you. Thank you for all your support and, of course, the great ideas and the contributions of our developments and what we have achieved. Definitely, without your help, that would be impossible. Thank you. Și dați-mi voie